What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over games 10, 11, and 12. So 10, 11, and 12. We went through games 1 through 6 in the first video. Went through games 7 through 9 in the second video. This video we're going over games 10, 11, and 12. So my dog's barking. Excuse that. You know, it's unfortunate interruptions. But anyways, we are 7-2 on the weekend so far. So as you can see, Chad Johnson, our newest wide receiver upgrade, he's been pretty clutch for me. So far I really like him better than Julio. He makes a ton of plays for me, and especially since I've been having to go through the Carolina tour. I'm going to go into depth of why I sub in Raheem Mostert at wide receiver 1 instead of my slot, because I need my slot receiver. You know, he's the one that I have abilities on, as well as DK. So I need him to throw the ball to. So, you know, my Terry McLaurin, I don't have any abilities on him, so that's why I feel like I could just sub him in at wide receiver 1. So I don't really think I do any of that in these 3 games because I didn't really feel that it was necessary. So I'd kind of go based on how my opponent plays me. Like if he runs a lot of dollar and dime and stuff like that, I'll switch personnel packages and start audibling down and stuff like that. But yeah, the team is looking the same. It hasn't had any updates yet. You guys are probably going to get 5 videos this week. It was a long ass weekend league. I'll tell you what, I ended up playing all 25 games. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so heading into game 1. Now both of these first 2 games are in the Dallas Stadium, so you would think I'd be playing the same guy twice, but actually I'm not. You know, it's 2 different opponents, same stadium. But first and 10 for us. We start off on the offensive side. We don't find anybody open. We find Reggie White, bro. He's a defensive lineman. Find Reggie Bush in the flats. So, and then we hit the low ball to Chad Johnson to move the chains, and which brings us to a 1st and 10, dropping back with Brett Favre, pass leaded inside, and we have the touchdown to DK Metcalf, which puts us on the board first. And when you go on the board first, that's when you really you can play your best, because you could kind of more or less manage the game and try to play good defense. So we hold our opponent to a 4th and 1. He has Brett Favre as well. So he runs the ball, hurries up, and we stick him with Isaiah Simmons in the backfield. No, sir, you ain't getting it. So in turn, we get a good field position, so we're dropping back 2nd and 2. We hit Chad Johnson, who reaches for the pylon and just gets out of reach, so it puts us on the 1-yard line. So you know what we do there. We pull out the old trusty power O out of goal line and give it to Bo Jackson, and that lets us go up 14-0. Now he goes across midfield. He hits me with an RPO to Odell Beckham, who all of a sudden turns into beast mode. So he shrugs off Lawrence Taylor and gets a 1st down. We're gonna ignore that. So, and then he hits me over the middle to Jermichael Finley, and then he hands it to George Kittle, who he had George Kittle at fullback. So I guess George Kittle gets a rushing touchdown on the day, put him up to put him down only by 1 score. So we audible to bro, I don't even know what I'm saying. We hit DK in the flats for a 1st down, brings us to a 3rd and 6. I had the flats open, but I also had Chad Johnson open, and we take it all the way for a touchdown right before half, puts us up by 2 scores. Now it was pretty easy to move the ball against this guy, but it was pretty easy for him to move the ball against me too, apparently. So, you know, but we lurk him with seconds left until halftime to negate any possibility of him putting points on the board before halftime, which was huge because he gets ball at half, so I didn't want him stacking points, so to speak. So, but then he finds a nice dot to DK Metcalf, and which brings him to a 2nd and 3. He finds Metcalf again over the middle, and then on 2nd and goal, he powers it in with Raheem Mostert, who ducks under Shazier for the touchdown. So now he's only within 1 score once again. And 1st and 10, dropping back to pass, we hit Reggie Bush again, double juke. The flats are just open all day. If the flats are open, I'm going to take the flats against zone coverage. So here he pulls out man, and we hit the unpressable drag route by the tight end, and he carries it upfield. heading on into the fourth quarter on 1st and 10, we low ball to DK Metcalf for the touchdown. I didn't actually think I triggered the catch there because my controller didn't vibrate, but it still gave me the touchdown. So, thankful for that. He hits DK deep on the sideline, and I wasn't able to click on with Rodney Lott to get the interception. So 2nd and goal, he drops back on second and goal, obviously. And then he does some little Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers-esque play and rolls out and throws a touchdown. So now he's only down by 1 score once again. And here I got the play. My plan was to just chew the clock and then as much as possible. So I chewed it down to 16 seconds, just ran the ball, and Raheem Mostert got me in for the touchdown, bring us up to 35-21, and that kind of just sealed the deal at that point. So my opponent decided, you know what, time to quit out, live the fight another day. Heading on into the next game, we're now 8-2 on the weekend. So for some reason he took forever to quit the game. So I was like, hey, quit the game, bro. So getting on into the next game, we're now 8-2. Like I said, you would think we're playing the same opponent, but we're not. I matched up in the Dallas Stadium twice in a row for some reason. So on the kickoff, he has DK Metcalf at kick return. So his change of direction isn't too high, but he does have like 97 speed. So makes sense why he would have him at kick return. So he drives all the way down inside the 25-yard line, and then he throws to Julio over the middle and gets a score on the very next play. So I'm like, whoa, this dude came to play. So I need to come to play. So we hit Chad Johnson on the sideline on the corner route. 1 for 1, 24 yards, brings us to a 1st and 10. Hit our DK over the middle. We're now 3 for 3 for 40 yards. So Brett Favre is slinging it out here. I'm letting him I'm like, hey, I'm about to score, and he was like, nah, you ain't about to score. It's because I threw to the tight end, bro. I threw the tight end on the seam against cover 3, and he wasn't even using it. So I was just thinking, I'll just throw it over his head, right? I got gunslinger. Well, psych. Obviously he intercepts me and takes it back with Jonathan Abram. So I was hoping to tie the game up, but instead I'm down 13-0, and then he leaves Terry McLaurin just butt naked for a wide open touchdown. So I was able to score quickly, gain my momentum back, and then he gets back on offense and hits the tight end on the delay fade. He was killing me with that delay fade a couple times. And on the next play, 2nd and 6, he tries to do the same thing, hits the delay fade once again, tries to truck, and runs right into Taylor Mays on the hit stick, and DRC is there to recover it. So we have a lot of momentum right now. We go for the one-play beater again, but it's not open. We get hit as we throw it, and Patrick Peterson picks it off. So I think I would have had the completion to DK. I know I saw him late, but because I saw him late, I got hit as I threw, and I threw the interception. So he hands it to Bo Jackson on the halfback zone and just easily waltzes in. So I'm like, yo, how come my run plays can't be like that? So here we are, 16 seconds until halftime. He leaves the cover 3 beater wide open once again to the opposite side to DK Metcalf. So we're able to score quickly to make it a 1-possession game once again, and then we get the ball coming out of half, and he doesn't make the adjustment once again. So if you don't make that adjustment, I'm like, hey, I'm going to keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. So we couldn't score that time because of his low change of direction, so we had to let Bo Jackson finish it off. But nevertheless, entering the fourth quarter, we are up by 1 point because he missed his extra point early in the game. So we user intercept him with Isaiah Simmons. He thought he had DK open, but I guess he did not have him open because I was there. So 4th and 8, we decided to go for it. I was more interested in it was a ballsy call. I could have easily punted the ball, but for all I know, he could have went down and scored. So I wanted to be aggressive on offense in this game, and it ended up paying off. But he gets me into an unfortunate 4th and 14 with a minute left, and I was running around. I didn't have DK open. I was just trying to playmaker, and then Denzel Ward gets the interception this time. That's not exactly what I wanted to happen. I thought he was going to run it back at first, but I was like, hold up. And then 1st and 10, he tries to throw a screen pass, and he decides to not throw the screen. He throws to Julio. So I'm like, dude, you're blind. And so Deion Sanders was there. Now I'm not going to show much of this game right here because there's not really. I'm only going to show the play where I scored and kicked the field goal because, to be honest, this guy played like really toxic, and he was running some kind of blitz out of nickel normal, some kind of disengage bullcrap, and I was getting sacked literally every play. So whenever I could get a pass off, I did, but you know, I'm not going to show much of him on offense. He was running strong close, but he's really bad at running it. So, you know, I'm just going to show a few plays here and there because I'm really trying to condense these videos as much as possible. So, not much to see there. So yeah, that was games 10, 11, and 12. The reason I didn't show much of that last game was because, like I said, the dude was playing really toxic, and even though my team was better than his, like he had, the only reason he was he must have been competitive online is because that little glitch blitz he was running. And I didn't want to show y'all that because I didn't want people catching on to it and be like, hey, how you run that blitz? You know, I didn't want people hitting him up. So not that it would matter. I mean, I'm not a big YouTuber, so I doubt people will message that guy. I mean, you can if you want to, but now I'm just talking out my butt. So let me just change the subject. We are now 10-2 on the weekend. So we got on a hot streak. We've only lost 2 games, so that is really good. So 10-2, feeling good. But I mean, you know, if you're 10-2 and you start off that hot in weekend league, you're not going to be that way for long. So, you know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I did exceed my goal. I did exceed my goal of the weekend. So every weekend, my first goal is 13 wins, and then if I manage to get 13, I might try for 16, just according to what kind of mood I'm in on Sunday night. So, yeah, that was games 10 through 12. We're now 10-2 on the weekend. So if you enjoyed this series, leave a like, let me know, and you know, subscribe if you're new. As usual, like the video, comment, get the engagements up, and I'll see you guys in the next recap. Peace.